Happy Sunday. It is the last day of my challenge and I wanted to do a live class with you. So we're gonna get into the stretches, my 5 favorite stretches, and that's probably what everybody's gonna like. But we are going to do the first stretch we're gonna do is a hamstring stretch. So if you don't have a strap, guys, watch this. This is glorious. You don't have a strap? Go, Byron. I'm gonna make you buy one. Shirt, foot, amazing, right? I just saved you $5 on Amazon. You can keep your bottom knee bent, or you can have it straight. Straight's gonna be a little harder on your low back, and if you're tight, that'll be a little harder too. You take that there, and then you hold here. Now, I have the shirt. Okay, I was gonna say strap, but it's not the strap. I have the shirt around the arch of my foot. So a lot of people, you'll want to play around with straight. If you're a dancer, ice skater, gymnast, you'll get your leg really straight. I'm none of those things. A lot of us are going to want to bend that knee, and you can kind of play with pulling that in. So it's not just about going here. You want to bend and then reach. That's where I really feel it. Remember, your hamstring has 3 parts. I'm going to show you a few different ways. So you can have a little bent. I'm holding it kind of underneath, like above the heel, so it's really supported. It's not on the ball of the foot. That feels good to me, because then I can kind of push down onto my bone and stabilize my hip, right? You don't want your hip to be all wonk. You want the hip to be really, really stable. Now, I'm gonna use this arm just to help support me, because I don't want my hip to go flying. I'm gonna place it here, and I'm gonna take this out to the side a little bit. I'm also gonna bend my knee. I see this, I have a lot of guys on their feet now. Guys have very, very tight hamstrings a lot of the time, not always, of course, but you know, generally men have tighter hamstring attachments if you're not, warming them up. But the thing is if you're doing everything really locked, like with this knee really straight and this here, you don't have the flexibility. I just don't want you to rip your hamstring, or the attachments, because they don't heal that far. Now, if you want to mix it up, I'm going to straighten it up, and I'm going to switch hands for my shirt, right? And I'm going to put my hand here so I can stabilize and my hip doesn't wind up here, right? That's what we don't want. You can have the bottom leg straight, and now I'm moving the leg across. Again, a little bit of a bend in the knee isn't a bad thing. I'm not an ice skater, and I'm just bringing that leg across. You can play around bending and stretching it. Of course, deep breaths. I'm a little bit phlegmy, so I'm going to show you the other ones with the band. I know I threw the band, but let's just for sake show you to you with the band. I'm a little coughing. My heart goes out to all of the people right now. I live in Oakland. I'm surrounded by smoke. I am really, really sorry to anybody that's lost their homes. So this leg up, I'm going to show you this leg straight. Now, hips square. This is my tighter side. So there's things you can do. You can go here with the strap like this. You can loop. Right? So this is another band from Stretch that I really like. And you can bring that here. So that's like one of the things that you can do with a yoga strap that's a little bit nicer, and then you see how that catches here. Again, I've got the strap around the center of my foot, and I can really lodge it down. So now I'm going to use my arms. I'm going to square my hips. You see how I want to travel that way? I'm going to square it off, and I'm going to reach my abs in just a little bit tighter, and then I can start to play with the bend in that knee and just kind of go a little bit deeper in, so that I'm getting different angles, right? 3 hamstrings, right? 3 parts of the muscle. I can't really say them. My pronunciation is like semi-membranosus, semi-tendinosus. And then there's the one on the inside. I'm not so great. Now I can bring this across, and then you'll see I want to bring this hip down, right? So that's the tendency. That's not really, that'll feel great. but we want to make sure we're kind of bringing it. Now I can bend that knee and it'll get into, I think that's like TFL, QL, depending on what you're tight. I tend to be really tight in those two places. This for me is a big stretch. You might also, depending on where you're tight, feel that in behind the knee quite a bit. So now bring it center, and again, this is my tight side. I'm gonna give it a little bend. And then I'm gonna rotate out, but I'm gonna try to keep, I'm kind of like bend my knee, I think, for this one. Really keep this side down, right? And then if I wanna slide that knee out again, I've gotta really keep this up. So you can see this isn't going that far, I'm not super flexible. If I bend that knee, I'll get it in and it'll change the muscle that it's working. Okay, bring that back to center. So my second favorite stretch is also a lying down stretch. I'm gonna get a little bit back. I'm gonna bend this knee just to get into it. So I have one knee bent, the foot is way across. Make sure I don't smack into my table. And then I lay back. Arms are gonna reach out like a T, right? You know, like a cross position. And the opposite hand, right? This is my bent knee. Like I said, really smoky in California. And I'm gonna bring that across. And that just feels amazing, guys. So this is kind of what you wanna think about. You wanna stretch your chest and your spine. So my opposite hand on the floor, right? My shoulder bone is on the floor. This hand gently. Now the big thing I think I see a lot of people, if you're tight, let's see if I have a block around. I have there. So if you're tight and you're having trouble getting into that, right? So you see how I've got that there now, and that's gonna probably give you a little more freedom. You can play around. It could be here, it could be a bolster. But the bottom line is that's really reaching out, a nice deep stretch. And let's come on up. So, third favorite stretch. Let's keep the block around, okay? Let's just keep them around. It makes things more available for a lot of us. So you've got the block on the floor. Let's go ahead and bring one foot forward. So maybe you paid attention in geometry, maybe you didn't. I kind of did. Right angle here, that's what you're looking for. And then you don't want to open, you see I'm opening to you? You want to keep the hips square. And then you want to use your glute, right? You want to use that cheek to stabilize, and that'll really open the hip. Now, if that bothers your knee, you can put soft things under your knee, right? A lot of people, you could just put that under, get sensitive, see if that helps. And then there's so many things you can do with the arm, because you can bring it up and bend. And remember your hip flexor, remember I was saying that muscle, it helps you walk. You use it when we do teasers. It's a really big, thick muscle, so it's great to try to move it three-dimensionally, right? It's good to get a little gooey in your stretches. And you can even use the block as something to kind of lift you, right? So when they put that there, kind of remind you to stay up. You know, I think the big thing I see is, you know, people kind of hang. And you want to be using especially the glutes to square off the hips and to stabilize. So let's try that on the other side. Definitely my tighter side now. So knee, foot, right angle there. And then lift up, right? So not collapsing. Right, that just it kind of tweaks my back just to do it. And then if I really square off and then come forward and use my glutes and my abs, I can really, really, really get the stretch where I need it, which is that hip flexor, right? So now I've got that other arm up and I'm gonna bend. This one always just feels like heaven to me. First of all, you're mermaiding. right? And you can use that block here. Remember, you can always hold the block. You can use the block here. And just see what that does. It just really gives me a good reminder. You see I'm able to get my arms back more using that block. And that's what props do. They really just get you into these positions a little bit better. Okay, so here's another one I really like. So, computers just aren't going anywhere, guys. There's no way that we're going to escape having to type a lot, escape having to stare at the screen a lot. I live in the Bay Area where commuting is insane. Like, it's just people regularly commute 50 miles in traffic here. I don't even understand how they do it. So do this, right? Have that. And do you know child's pose? Right? So knees down. I've got my knees pretty wide. And voila. There's a child's pose with a little bit of a twist, right? A shoulder twist. And what it's doing is, instead of you trying to pull your arm across your body, which just tires out your other arm, I'm using my body weight to stretch. And that just feels a lot nicer. Plus, you're getting an opening in the hips. You can play around, maybe look from right to left. And that's we go here and you're like trying to pull. This is just, and then other arm. So you bring the other arm on top. And you just take your body forward, right? You control it. That's what's great. You control the stretch. So this is definitely, I think, a little bit more my open side. So you might see me go down a little bit more. And then I'll also just get that opening more in the hips. So we're gonna do one more stretch together, and it's my favorite stretch. So it's definitely not one that I loved initially. This is definitely more of a Pilates move. You'll also see it in yoga, but really, again, going back to that whole shoulder thing, and not getting enough extension, right? Not lifting our heads up anymore. So this is not one you want to do if you have a really bad back injury, but you can kind of come up right here for a second, bend one knee, grab it, and then maybe after a few seconds, you can grab that other one. And we are going to take a hold of my ankles. And that is your bow pose. And then if you want to rock, that's your rocking. Now, bonus, come back up. Weave your arms again. Come back to your shoulder stretch. Breathe. And then other side. And then here's your bonus. We're gonna do that with the hands the other way. So this is definitely not my favorite thing. You're gonna see me really struggle on this one. And lift up. Try to squeeze your knees here, trying to keep the abs in. And I can barely rock on this. And that is it, guys. That is all I had planned for today. If you have any more questions, let me know. Remember, if you want to join, can you do cardio? Oh, of course, yeah. If you look at my, I mean, you can do whatever you want, of course, but a lot of people mix Pilates with cardio now. So if you look at my last post, I think that was like there's Pilates and cardio mixed in there. So I say always keep your body guessing. And no more questions. Thanks for tuning in on YouTube, and I will get this edited and over to you soon.